Unit 2, Lesson 4, Child Labor. There's no vocabulary for Unit 2, Lesson 4. So today we're going to focus on child labor in factories. After all, as Britain is the first nation to industrialize, they're also the first to exploit children in those factories. Take a minute to imagine you're the individual who took the photograph of this child in this factory. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel about this scene? Now take a minute to study these two sources, taken from a parliamentary report in 1831. What can these accounts tell us about what life was like for children working in the mills? Throughout the Industrial Revolution, children made up more than 5% of the industrial labor force. Children often left school at the ages of 12 or 13 to work. Girls sometimes took factory jobs so that their brothers could stay in school. In the event that an adult became too ill to work, children as young as 6 or 7 had to work to provide wages for the family. Rarely did the government provide public assistance during this time, and unemployment insurance didn't exist. The theory of social Darwinism held that poverty resulted from personal weakness. Many thought that offering relief to the unemployed would encourage idleness and not hard work. Children would often get illnesses and diseases because of the toxins and fumes that were inhaled while in the factories or mines. Many adults did not allow their children to get an education because they needed the money and needed their children to work. Some children even worked 19 hours a day with only a 1 hour break. It all started to change with the Factory Act of 1833. After many terrible years of poor conditions for children in factories, the government decided something must be done to make things better. Shown here are the 7 main points of the Factory Act of 1833, a new law that came into place to protect children in the workforce. Child labor today and child labor during the Industrial Revolution have many similarities between them. Sadly, one of the things they both have in common are horrible workplaces. And the kids that work either didn't or don't go to school because their family simply can't afford it. In the Industrial Revolution and today, parents sell their kids off to recover from debt. And in both times and both situations, the kids and the families are often underpaid. Today, over 168 million children work as child laborers, and more than half of them, or 85 million, are working dangerous and hazardous jobs. Asia and the sub-Saharan African countries continue to be the regions with the highest amount of child labor.